Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. This week, my pattern review is all about the hoodie. In the UK, we're heading into autumn, winter, and it's kind of a useful transitional garment. And I want to make one for myself. And I was researching it this week and I thought, let's do a pattern review. So I'm going to start off with a bit of inspiration and then we'll move on to the pattern review. Let's begin. Okay, so let's start with some inspiration. I've got 6 slides here. If you want to go forward to the actual pattern review itself, go to this point in the video, but I'm hoping you'll watch the inspirational slides as well because you might find them useful and interesting. Okay, so I've got 2 styles here from Co and Lululemon, both in really sporty marl jersey. I think they're either cotton or cotton blends. And what I like about these two, they're both over the head styles. They've got hoods, obviously, and they've got a centre front zip detail. They've got front pouch pockets even, but they've got this foot stitching detail on them, which gives them a bit of extra detail interest, really. You've got a zip tab pull on the Lululemon one on, and you've got a tie around the hem of the Co one as well, and they've both got these raglan sleeves as well. So those were 2 sort of quite sporty looking examples to start. Cropped. I appreciate cropped isn't for everybody, but I just thought these were interesting to look at. So on the left from Adidas Stella McCartney, we've got this extremely deep hem ribbing. You could do that in a slightly less extreme way. You could make the actual top of the ribbing a bit lower and make the whole garment longer. But I thought that was actually quite a nice detail, a slight twist on a conventional sporty hoodie. And then this interesting one from Rick Owens, which is like an over-the-head sweatshirt, and it's on net-a-porter, so you can have a better look at it. It's got a really full hood. The fabric is slightly textured, and then it's got this elasticated, cropped, it's a crop length waistband detail, which I thought was quite nice. I mean, I wouldn't wear either of these styles myself, but there are elements there with the ribbing on the waistband on the Adidas style and the elastication on the Rick Owens one that I thought were interesting, that you could take into a style more suitable for yourself. And then these 2, on the left we have this beautiful blue sweatshirt from J.W. Anderson. Really, really love the tie that comes from inside the hood and ties in a big bow at the front. I think it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just like a very conventional hooded sweatshirt, but that detail just makes it look really interesting. And then the one on the right, you may spot if you're eagle-eyed, it's Moncler and J.W. Anderson collaboration. It hasn't got a hood, but what I liked about this one was the contrasting sleeve to the body, and then at the cuff they've got these eyelet holes, and they've kind of like laced up the cuff to give the sleeve shape at the cuff hem, and I just thought that was interesting, so I thought I'd show that to you as well. Then these 2 from Loro Piana, and again Adidas Stella McCartney, classic zip through shapes. The Loro Piana style is actually made in a knitted jersey fabric. I love this stripe tape that they've got coming down the shoulder down through the centre of the sleeve, and it was also echoed in the tie tab that they've got at the hood as well. Just think it's really beautiful. And then they've picked out one of the colours from that trim inside the hood. I thought that was interesting. Adidas Stella McCartney, this is more of a technical functional hoodie, zip through, and you've got a performance fabric alongside a sort of a more conventional jersey together with the pouch kangaroo pockets at the front as well, and a tie detail at the hood. Okay. Then these 2, they're both hoodies, but they're woven. So Loewe, Paola's Ibiza, have done this. It looks like a jacquard. It could be printed actually, I'm not entirely sure, and it's got a zip detail at centre front, pouch pockets, elasticated hem, short 3/4 sleeve just below the elbow and a hood with a drawstring, and I thought that was really cute. And then on the right, another one from JW Anderson. I seem to have loads from them. This is actually a very fine striped cotton poplin. I guess it's a heavy shirting weight, and it's got a centre front opening, the hood, drawstring, and then a shirt pocket, and I think it's got a conventional shirt cuff, and I just thought that was a really interesting take on the hoodie. A bit of a contradiction, and I like things like that. Okay, and then finally one from the row, and this is an over the head hoodie. It's woven and it's in a satin, and I think this is fab. I would wear this. I think I would wear this for an evening out. It's really understated, and the style itself reminds me a bit of the Merchant Mills Landgate, which I've actually made both in a heavyweight wax cotton and also printed leopard print. It's on the stand here, but you could take away a lot of the detailing on the Landgate and just and get rid of the top stitching and make it in a satin, and the zip could be a concealed zip at the centre front. You could bag out that hood in self if you used a lightweight satin, and I think it would be quite fantastic. And then on the right we have one from Burberry, which is a conventional raglan sleeve, zip through, but they've taken their classic checked Burberry trim and cut it on the bias and inserted it into the shoulder armhole, seam, and also around the hem and around the cuff as well. I thought quite interesting. All things that you could take into garments you're making yourself. Just food for thought, really. Okay, I've got 10 patterns for you, all slightly different, all chosen for different reasons. Stylark Kennedy hooded top that we're going to start with. This looks like quite a substantial outerwear hoodie, which you could make in a performance fabric, but equally you could make it in a stable jersey fabric. And it looks like this has been made in a jersey fabric. It's got a big pocket at the front with a flap. It's got a centre front placket opening, a panelled hood, drawstrings at the hood. It's made here, I think, with popper studs down the front, but I guess you could probably use buttons. That looks like a two-piece sleeve to me, and it's got a cuff finish as well, and I think it's got a drawstring around the hem. It is a PDF or printed pattern from Stylark in sizes 4 to 30. I've got visions of making this in a performance fabric for when I go walking, perhaps, so I think that would be a really useful and practical style, but it's also really stylish as well. Okay, moving on to a pattern from Leisl & Co, and it's their Antwerp pullover. I wanted to choose, I mean, there are plenty of patterns that do a conventional sweatshirting type hoodie, but I wanted to include a few things that were slightly different as well. So you could make this in a heavier woven fabric, which I believe they've done here, or a stable jersey. So they describe this as a dressy twist on the classic hoodie. It's a paper or PDF, sizes UK 8 to 20, so it's a pull-on style, slightly cropped and boxy. The hem at the back is slightly lower, and it's got a kangaroo pocket at the front, and it's got a really nice detail of these optional side buttons, or I suppose you could use popper fasteners as well. And as well as the hood, the panelled hood, there's a collar option as well, so it doesn't necessarily have to have a hood, but particularly love the collar version, and that's from Leisl & Co, and that's the Antwerp pullover. Okay, Mimi G, Simplicity S9636, lovely oversized hoodie, no sleeves. They've got two variations, so you've got a conventional shape with a kangaroo pocket, and then the garment she's wearing on the right is View B, which has these sort of cutaway detail as well. Really simple shape. I actually think that would be really useful in the winter. You could sling it on over a polo neck and jeans for an extra layer. It could be quite sporty, it could be a bit more formal. I particularly like that, even though it's very, very simple. It's described as an oversized hoodie suitable for fleece, ponte or scuba, conventional sweatshirting fabric, I guess, as well. And it's a paper or PDF, sizes 4 to 12 or 12 to 22 size sets there from Simplicity. Okay, what have we got next? Oh yes, now I've mentioned this already. So this is the Merchant & Mills, the Landgate, and I have actually featured this in a video. I've made it in their wax cotton. Sorry, oilskin, not wax cotton, it's their oilskin. I've made it also in this 100% cotton dead stock fabric that I bought from Walthamstow Market. I actually haven't included the waist tie, and I've got side pockets in mine, but the hood construction, the centre front zip and the panelling is exactly the same. And I chose this because, as I said earlier in the inspirational section, that's black satin woven hoodie from the row. I think this pattern would do that job. You could actually have a bit of a sort of a formal wear hoodie, a going out hoodie if you like. Could be in a print or could be in just a luxurious silk satin perhaps. Just an idea. So that's the Merchant & Mills, the Landgate, extra small to extra, extra large, paper or PDF, and I believe that's also a unisex pattern as well. Okay. Another woven style, Hey June Handmade, who I haven't come across before, I don't know why. And this is, it does look a bit summery, but you could obviously make it in more autumnal winter fabrics. I just liked it because it was woven, and I like the use of the stripes here as well. So this is actually a set with the hoodie and the shorts, but we're just going to talk about the shorts for our purposes today. It's really very simple with the hood, a centre back seam. It's got the kangaroo pocket at the front. It's got a nice front placket detail with a centre front slit, a bound neckline, wide sleeves, and a slightly cropped hem as well. And like I said, I really like the way that they've messed around with the stripes. You could do that in a shirting stripe as a top. You could do it in a beautiful lightweight wool, as a plain sort of coordinate. Lots of options there, and that's PDF sizes 0 to 24. Okay. So I've included this one from Fibre Mood because it's a fairly conventional hoodie, but it's just a very nice shape, nice and easy, slightly oversized, and they've got this raw cut drawstring detail at the hem. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward style, but I did have to include one. And it's called the Frikka hoodie from Fibre Mood, paper or PDF, extra small to extra, extra, extra large. Okay, I'm moving on to Vikisews, massively oversized. This is their Amina hoodie. PDF sizes 34 to 52. So it's oversized with a loose fit, but with a straight silhouette, if that makes sense. It's got inseam pockets. You can see on the line drawing, it's got these seams that come sort of down the side of the front. So you've got inseam pockets there. You've got rib cuffs and a rib hem and a drawstring hood. So, I mean, it's really like a pretty classic hoodie, but it's just very, very oversized, which I think is a really nice shape, actually. Okay, another one from Fibre Mood. I think the sleeves are interesting here, and it's a Paola hoodie, extra small to extra, extra, extra large, again, paper or PDF. Now, you can make this with or without the hood, actually, but I've just included the working drawings with the hood here. But I think is most interesting is the fact that the front shoulders, that's brought forward slightly, maybe not. It looks like it on the line drawing, but maybe not on the garment. But it's got a back yoke seam, which I think is interesting. And the gauging at the sleeve head and it's a drop shoulder, but you've got gauging, and I think that makes for a really interesting silhouette. And the hood itself also has, I don't know whether they've used rib, but it's got like a very deep hem around the opening of the hood as well. And they looks like they've got conventional ribbing on the cuffs and the hem. It's not overly long, it looks like it sits just below the waist, but I think a really interesting silhouette from Fibre Mood, and also you can make it without the hood. Okay, so this is a really interesting one from McCalls. They also have a t-shirt and a legging with this pattern. So again, M8244 from McCalls. It's a paper pattern, sizes 6 to 32. It's got a drop shoulder, got your hood, of course, and you've got these asymmetrical seams, which means you can do colour block, or you could include different fabrics if they were the same kind of weight, if it was appropriate, or maybe you could put some piping through the seams as well. And it's got conventional rib cuffs and a fairly straightforward hem. And then they've also got, I've shown you in the line drawings, they've also got this t-shirt style, which is actually very, very similar. And for some reason, I'm just scrolling through my infographics and the line drawing isn't on there. Something strange has happened. Oh, it's come back. Okay. So, yeah, so drop shoulder, long sleeve with a rib cuff, and you've got this asymmetrical panelling detail front and back, and then you've got a top with the same detailing, which is actually really nice. I really like the top. Okay, now last but not least, a lovely hoodie from Grasser, and it's a Grasser 862, PGF sizes 38 to 56. So you can make this either with a full-on hood or with a sort of almost like a cowl polo collar on it. And you can also make it, that the cuffs are ribbed, you can make it with or without a ribbed hem. And it does have this panelling front and back. So I think what's really nice here is that they have used a contrasting quilted fabric for the centre panel front and back, but you could just do something interesting. Maybe you could top stitch it depending on how stretchy the fabric is and use just self fabric there, but it is quite interesting the way they've done that. And I'm not sure whether there are, I think there might be front pockets in that front seam, but I should have looked more closely. I think there are, yes. Really nice. And I also really like the drawstring they've used, which is quite sort of thick rope, and they've got really nice silver stoppers on there. So there we end with a style from Grasser. I thought that was actually my favourite. Anyway, I hope you found them interesting. If you've made any of them, please share with us. And if you have a particularly nice hoodie pattern that you've made on repeat, maybe share that too. So I hope you found that interesting. So I just wanted to say thank you as I catch up with you at the end here. The Your Makes video just went out last night, and I've had loads and loads of lovely messages and feedback, and it seems that you really enjoyed it. So I'm definitely going to do another one. I think it'll probably be in the new year. So feel free to send pictures of your makes from now going forward, and I will collect them all up, and we will have a Your Makes 2 probably in January, I expect. I'll give you a few months to send things in. I hope it inspired you to see what everybody else is making. I found it really, really interesting, and I think there was some great, well, they were all great makes, and some great sewers out there. It was just really, really impressive, and just interesting to share. So this week I am working on my celebrating 10,000 views video, talking a bit about why I went on YouTube and what it's like to go on YouTube at 58. Yeah, and why I did it really, and a bit about how I got to where I am now. I'm working on that video. I'm hoping it might come out next Saturday, but I'm not sure because I'm actually away this week, so we will see, but that's my plan anyway. I'm still working on this blouse. This is the trends pattern blouse. The waistcoat and trousers are on the table in the other room. I've nearly finished those, but I can't show them to you yet. These were the ones that were at the end of yesterday's video, the Your Makes video, and they are a work in progress, and they will be finished very soon. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, share and subscribe. I value your feedback as always, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.